Tonight on The Roast, we review last night's budget, a Canadian astronaut returns to Earth, and wealthy New Yorkers hire disabled people to jump queues at Disneyland. But first, finance. Well, that's budget over for another year. Done and dusted. For me, it's kind of like the Melbourne Cup in that for a couple of hours I pretend to know what's going on and then walk away with less money. And certainly the early reviews have not been great, with the federal opposition saying... And the Sydney Morning Herald's economist Ross Gittins calling it the weirdest budget you or I are ever likely to see. It's true. Not only did the government cut family payments by $5 billion, they also cut prime ministerial blazer lapels by 50%. So it's copped some flack, particularly after Treasury figures showed the federal budget was on course for a deficit even before unexpected tax write-downs. Criticism that the Prime Minister easily dismissed by saying, well, yeah, sure, that's mathematically true. But when you're talking about the nation's budget, is anyone really interested in maths? Now, sadly, as with last year's budget, an increase in foreign aid has again been postponed for another year, but thankfully those savings will allow for $100,000 to mark a permanent record of the 25th anniversary of Parliament House. So to recap, that's a zero increase in foreign aid and $100,000 for a 25th birthday present. Maybe it'll be some sort of sky whale. No, that'd be a ridiculous waste of money. But in explaining his budget, Treasurer Swan said, "We haven't approached this budget in relation to opinion polls." Probably because the opinion polls say, we don't want Labor to approach this budget. And as with every budget, the media quickly ambushed single parents for their insights on the extraordinarily complex financial information they'd heard just 5 seconds earlier. It's all part of the traditional, how does this affect you segment? But they're not talking about you, they're talking about vague stereotypes of you, like tradie and uni student. That's why for our How Does This Affect You segment, we got Rachel Corbett to analyse all 23 million Australians so that she could provide each of us with a truly personalised budget breakdown. She's been going through it since about 7:30 last night, so let's see where she's up to in the phone book.
And that is how the budget will affect you, Zachariah Z. Zackerton. Thank you for your time.
Zackerton, Rach, you're nearly done.
No, I started from the back, Tom. I'm 24 hours in and I've done 10 names.
Oh, right. Well, look, I was wondering if it's no trouble, if maybe you could jump ahead a bit and tell us how the budget might affect someone in the office, like Genevieve Fricker.
Okay, here we go. Genevieve Fricker. Yes, Genevieve Fricker is cripplingly lonely but desperate to start a family. Unfortunately, the baby bonus is also going to be cut next year, so if she wants that $5,000 bump sum, she's going to have to get pregnant ASAP, and she'll really need that $5,000 because Jen is a 4-pack a day smoker, and the 7-cent price rise per packet will cost her an extra $100 a year. But buck up, Jen. That lifetime of smoking means you're going to be in prime position to benefit from a new $226 million investment in cancer care. And speaking of cancer care, the government says they're investing $92.2 million in breast cancer screening and pap smears. So our pap is going to be all right. Oh, Jen is also secretly racist and is terrified of being invaded by those Asians from tomorrow when the war began. So she's going to be very happy there's a $10 billion rise in defence spending. Also, Jen, since you moved to the country because you wanted to be further away from the borders, the new $100 million allowance for farmers in hardship will benefit you because you're a terrible farmer who can't grow anything and smokes while you're pregnant. And that's how the budget will affect you, Genevieve Fricker. By my calculations, you're a budget winner and a horrible person.
All right, thank you, Rachel. But now I'm more interested in how this budget will affect us, those who are part of the ABC. So what's Wayne giving us?
$59.4 million over 3 years, Tom, for the ABC's news and current affairs services.
Hell yeah! I can finally afford that Tom Glasson hologram. Marty, order me one. Put it on Mark Scott's card. We're tight. Moving to our second story, and the only Canadian astronaut that you follow on Twitter has returned safely to Earth. Geez, I'd kill for that moustache. Now, Commander Chris Hadfield spent his 5-month stay aboard the International Space Station fixing life-threatening ammonia leaks and posting YouTube videos of himself brushing his teeth and answering questions like,
can you cry in space?
who the hell asked a question like that? All the mysteries of the universe, and well, actually, now I do want to know. So, can you?
And so if you keep crying, you just end up with a bigger and bigger ball of water.
Oh, look at him. Such a brave astronaut with the strength of a bear but the sensitivity of a Tom Glasson. But his most popular video was his cover of David Bowie's Space Oddity.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh my God, that weeping space angel knows my name. And now Hadfield and 2 other astronauts are back on Earth after landing in Kazakhstan yesterday. And they were given the hero's welcome that they deserved. Nothing says, mission accomplished, hero, like wheelchairs and a little blankie. But now that he's back on Earth, what's next for my second favourite Canadian YouTube sensation? Is Hadfield just a one-trick pony, you know, being in space and posting videos? 2-trick pony. Well, to find out, we're joined by my second and fifth favourite reporters, Mark Humphries and Clark Richards. Guys, what's next for Commander Hadfield?
Well, Tom, we're concerned about his career. We just saw the photo of Hadfield after he got back to Earth, sitting in a wheelchair.
Covered in a blanket. He looks weak. He looks vulnerable. He looks...
Like he just shut the bed. Who's been approving these publicity shots?
The man needs some new representation. So we've been kicking some ideas around and we've decided we're going to take him on.
Take him on?
It's called CPR, Celebrity PR.
We resuscitate your career.
Okay, so what are you thinking?
Well, let's just say it might be time to release some of those other videos he made up there.
You talking sex tapes?
Oh, I wish I was talking sex tapes. What would that be like?
Kim Kardashian with a moustache.
You mean Khloe Kardashian?
But instead, he releases a music video.
Impressive by space station standards, but let's be honest, Tom, his voice is pretty ordinary by Earth standards.
He won't crack the iTunes charts while the voice is on. We're swamped with people with vocal talent as it is.
Oh, Australia's got talent, America's got talent, Britain's got talent.
There's too much talent.
Well...
And too much competition. He's lost his X Factor.
His moustache?
No! Being in space.
To get Hadfield any heat, we've got to send him back up there.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
Oh, he won't put up much of a fight. Not while he's in that wheelchair.
And with Chris Hadfield being a viral sensation, he's naturally received thousands of YouTube comments. And following the trend of other major news networks giving weight to what people say on the internet, we're going to look at some of those comments now. Well, here's one user who's clearly unhappy. User Nuba300 saying, my videos are way better than yours. And I'm actually hearing we've got Nuba300 available to talk to us now.
Hi, Tom.
Oh, Jazz Twemlow, it's you. Jazz, what got you so angry?
Tom, I've been posting hundreds of dormant viral hits, videos just like Hadfield's, and not one has gone viral.
Okay, but I'm told by Mark and Clark that's because his videos were in space.
Exactly, Tom. That apparently makes all the difference. If you add in space to a video description, instant hit. Chris Hadfield brushes his teeth. In space. Chris Hadfield gets sick. In space. He gets loads more views than me. Apparently no one wants to watch Jazz Twemlow get sick on Earth. And that's why I'm spicing up my next video. Jazz Twemlow reads The Great Gatsby at 7 Gs. Turn it on.
7 Gs. Jazz, where are you?
G-force machine, Tom. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my
Jazz,
father...
get back to doing your job, all right? This is ridiculous.
Gotta go viral, Tom. My father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since.
No, I'm being serious, Jazz. You're going to do yourself some harm.
Sorry, can't hear you, Tom. Peripheral vision's going dark.
Jazz? Jazz! All right, we might come back to Jazz if he gains consciousness. Until then, members of Manhattan's elite are reportedly hiring disabled people to pose as family members so they and their kids jump to the front of lines at Disneyland. It's absolutely despicable, but what Walt Disney would have wanted. Now, the disabled tour guides are allegedly being paid $1,040 for an 8-hour day. I wish I had that kind of money to splash around. I mean, you know, they only pay me in biscuits here, and I have to eat them dry like an animal. Now, one Manhattan mother boasted, my daughter waited 1 minute to get on It's a Small World. The other kids had to wait 2.5 hours, adding, this is how the 1% does Disney. Really? She just straight out said that. Man, I bet she was the one who shot Bambi's mum too. For more, we'll cross live to Nick Richardson, who's in Disneyland in California. Nick?
This really is the happiest place on earth, Tom. I can already hear that sweet, sweet 1% coin flooding in.
Nick, did you just cut your legs off?
Yeah, I sure did, Tom. If you want to run a successful business in this town, you've got to jump on an opportunity when you see one, even if it means taking away your ability to ever jump again. Success is all about sacrifice. Just look at these poor idiots waiting in line for Splash Mountain. Hey, suckers, who wants a frontage?
Maybe.
Get out of here, you bums. They all come running to old Neelis Nick's tours. Just $1,000 and no more waiting. See, Tom, this disability stuff is a gold mine.
Oh, but Nick, how can you be so deceitful?
Oh, I get it. You think just because I have no legs, I'm not as capable of being despicable as someone who's able-bodied. That is so bigoted. You disgust me, Tom.
What? How am I the disgusting one? You're the one who just cut his legs off to make money.
Yeah, but I don't even miss them, Tom. Just think, no more walking around. No more shopping for shoes. No more waiting to get a seat on the bus, because Nikki's got a seat right here. I can't imagine ever getting sick of this.
Yet you live on a second-story apartment with no lift.
My legs. Ugh. Oh, God. Tom, they won't stick back on. They won't stick back on, Tom!
Nick Richardson there, learning lessons the hard way. Meanwhile, I'm just getting word that my ABC Budget Boom hologram has finally arrived. Hey! Take that, working families. Good night.